Halloween
Forever.
Good evening, Steven. How's it going? How's this first post-Halloween episode treating you in the first 10 seconds of its existence?
I've decided I don't look at it as the end of Halloween. I look at it as the transition from chocolate treats to peppermint chocolate treats.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
I like that. I like that mentality. I'm going to adopt that as well. I do have one other thing for you, however. I got one. I got one of them for you, if you know what I mean.
One of them.
I think you do. Yeah, so right after Halloween was over, obviously had a nice little Halloween weekend. Decided to, on Sunday, decided to go to the mall, start my Christmas shopping a little early. Right? As soon as Halloween was over, went down to that old mall. I saw these two hipsters hanging out down there, and they got all upset that I called them that. And I called them hipsters.
Weird.
Apparently, the PC term nowadays is conjoined twins. Welcome, boys and girls, to a fucking stupid Showdown episode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Steve. It was really.
I feel like you like that one.
I did like that one, but also just the sell of the punchline was also very good. So yes,
I did. I really did. I'm over here. I'm full of piss and vinegar, and I'm burping up salmon this evening, guys. And you know what that means. It's Showdown time. We are here in the first Monday of the month, which means it's a Showdown episode. And this is our November Showdown. For those of you who may or may not have been following along with us throughout spooky season, we already got the spinny wheel to give us some topics. We already had our social media friends and listeners vote on those topics. And those social media friends and listeners picked Mall Madness. We thought that was very appropriate for getting into the holiday shopping season. We're getting all commercial onions for this here Showdown episode. So for those of you who maybe weren't, following along, this is another one of those Patreon showdowns where me, Steve, and our collective Patreon community pick the movies associated with the showdown. So, of course, we got to do some things on the top of the show, but I do want to tell you, because this is a bit of an announcement, because we didn't do it early because we just didn't. We have four. We just didn't do it. We just didn't. We have 4 Mall Madness movies.
3.
These. What did I say?
4.
4? Nope. 3.
3.
We did have 4 for the Halloween Showdown.
Yeah.
But we typically have 3, which is normal. But they are all coincidentally 80s movies. Obviously, the height of mall mania, if you will, is the 80s. So we have 3 80s movies. And I would love to say with 100% confidence that they all heavily feature a mall, but actually they don't. We'll get into that as we dive into the individual arguments for the movies. But we're going to be talking about in chronological order, but potentially not in this order we're going to talk about it, but chronological to when they were released. We're going to talk about Night of the Comet from 1984. Steven, that was your pick, right?
Yep.
Then I picked, I decided to come way out of left field and go with a real hidden gem. No, just kidding. I'm doing chopping mall, you bitches. Suck my dick and lick my butt. I'm doing chopping mall, 1986. I threatened to do chopping mall, but then I mentioned in a previous episode that was a little on the nose. It might have been the first pick, but then you picked Night of the Comet. And then the Patreons picked Hide and Go Shriek from 1988. I was like, I got to keep this theme going. I got to keep going with the 80s. And I fucking love chopping mall so much.
Yeah, it's it's definitely on the nose. And, maybe even Should have done some meg rails for yourself. You could have thought, hey, maybe I'll do meg rails, but
well, maybe, but also I will say, and spoiler alert, once we get into the arguments here, I'm the only one who picked a mall movie, which is weird.
I have a mall movie. Fuck off.
No, you certainly do not.
Yeah, there's a mall in it. That's the point. That's the prompt. Is there a mall? Yes, there's a mall.
They are in a department store, guys.
Nope.
I'm gonna bury my lead here, but it's a department store,
Nope.
not a mall.
Nope, it's not. It's a department store attached to a mall because one of the characters very clearly says shopping arcade, which is the same meaning as a mall.
Yeah, but we never ever see a mall, guys. All right, listen, I'm doing what's the opposite of burying my lead? I'm shooting my wad right off at the beginning here. But we're going to talk about mall related things. We're going to talk about those 3 movies, but of course, I love the show. Like I said, we got to do some stuff. Steven, are you did a little yum 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 yum? You slurping on a beer over there?
I do have a yum 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 yum.
What you got?
I am woefully out of season. But
so am I, actually.
Yeah. I had a beer and it was on deck, but I don't know, just whatever recording schedules didn't line up. And I have an Oktoberfest. A Märzen Lager. And
Märzen?
Yeah, it's a Märzen. And it's coming all the way from Hamburg, New York.
Oh, I see what you did there.
From the Hamburg Brewing Company out of New York. It is their Märzen Oktoberfest. Yeah, it's a nice 5.7. So yeah, it has a great nose on it. It smells really malty. And then it drinks fine. Yeah. It's not all right. It's not particularly clear, but
yeah, I see that.
But otherwise, pretty decent.
I've had a couple of their beers, and I'll just say mixed results. I won't weigh in entirely because I haven't had enough of their beer to say that. I don't think I've had any of their beer particularly super fresh, but mixed results is in my experience. But to stay on theme with in 2 capacities, one, drinking a beer. It's not necessarily a beer. Now, this is a year-round beer style, I would say, but it is certainly most associated with the summertime. And it's also a German beer style, but brewed here in the United States. I'm drinking from our old pals that I frequently feature, Burgers Brewing Company here in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am drinking their Yellow Funticular. It is their Hefeweizen. So 5.1% ABV German style Weissbier, the Hefeweißbier, the Weizen mit Hefe. And it's tasty. Highly carbonated, very yeasty, like I like them. So it's a little bit more on the kind of bready, uncooked bread dough, tons of clovey, allspice type of stuff in the nose, kind of like a green banana, unripe banana thing in the ester profile, and just big and lush and fluffy, but it's with a nice spritziness as well, because like I said, really highly carbonated. And a big old tall foam cap on there. I was teasing it up a minute ago, had it probably an inch above the rim of the glass. So I am fucking with it, Steve.
I don't think I've had that one by them, but I would definitely fuck with it because I just fuck with Hefeweißes in general.
As do I. Yeah, they always do a nice job with the German Weiss beer. I got this one to go because they didn't have it on tap anymore, but they had some 4-packs at the tap room, and I drank the Dunkelweizen, and they got a hell of a nice Dunkelweizen over there at the tap room in Zillionople. And then I saw this in the cans, and I was like, oh, I didn't try that when it was on tap, so I'm going to try that. And then for those of you who like to know what I'm watching in the background, currently watching Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows on in the background, which is, of course, a bold choice, but I don't know. It just felt like a November movie to me, right?
Sure.
It's very autumnal. They're fucking around out in the forest. Like all the leaves are off the trees. I just feel like it takes place in November. I don't know if that's the case or not. But that's what I'm getting down with. Steven, how was your Halloween weekend? I got to ask. We're wrapping up spooky season here.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I just sat around and watched movies most of the time. You know, I got finished it up on 31 Days of Horror. So now I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free of that. It's like a genie's curse in a way, but like, yeah, it's fun, but also I'm free of it now. So I can go back to, I have a whole glut of non-horror things that I get to catch up on now. So it's like,
now we get into the 60 days of holiday horror.
Yeah, the 60 days of TV I missed in.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about the 31 days of horror, which we get is over on the Patreon. We'll talk about that here in a hot second, but I was thinking about doing a 25 days of Christmas horror this year, perhaps for the Patreon, because you know me and how much I love some spooky holiday movies. But yeah, I anything you watched that was of particular interest or notoriety?
No, it's just like revisiting a lot of things that I usually watch around the time, like murder parties. Usually, I usually throw Murder Party on. I checked out a couple other things. I checked out I started watching the new Hell House LLC, like the finish to that series.
Yep.
Hey, it's there on Shudder.
I haven't watched that. I kind of lost interest in this will be the fourth one, right?
I think, yes, I think it's the fourth one. Possibly the fifth one. No, it's the fifth one. Because
it's the fifth. Oh, good. Yeah, it lost me after the third. And then I was like, all right, I don't think I'm good on these.
Right, because the third one was the one that was all about the angels and shit. And
the angel one lost me.
Like, it lost me, but I still came back for more. The follow-up was the Carmichael Manor, which, like, technically good, but it doesn't need to exist. And then this new one, Lineage, I started it because it's not a found footage film. Like,
so it's almost a Book of Shadows situation.
It is.
Here.
It's a Book of Shadows situation because they revisit like characters from the first film, from the first four films, and like they marry together like the fair where you learn in Carmichael Manor like where these kind of killer clowns come from. They come from the fair. And then they're tied to the Carmichael Manor, and then like the Abaddon Hotel they're all tied together. And so like this film tries to marry all of that together. I just fell asleep on it because it wasn't super interesting and holding my attention. It just wasn't good at it.
I honestly almost fell asleep. You just tell me that quick little bit about it. It sounds so fucking boring. I actually have not. I think I liked the second one quite a bit. Everyone likes the first one. I didn't love the first one. I thought it was just okay. And then the second one I did like. And then, like I said, lost me at, I think it must have been the third one. But I'll probably get around to it at some point. I did very much the same thing. I watched a lot of stuff that I watch every year, in the countdown the last few days. I watched my Halloween, right?
Sure.
I watched my Halloween. Well, actually, I watched Halloween 3 like a week before that. What else did I watch? I watched The Barn. I love The Barn. Yeah. It's one of my favorite Halloween movies. I watched on Halloween Day. I did just a marathon. I watched The Barn. Then I watched Night of the Demons, the remake with Edward Furlong, and I don't know. Something about that movie is just it's just a stupid Halloween movie put on the background.
Yeah. No, there's something about it because it is just very that's like a 2008 film, I think 2008, 2009, and it's such a very of that time movie that you can only kind of recapture with like films like that and Hellraiser Hellworld. Like they both look very similar in color and tone, and they're just like bad and stupid movies. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. And some Shannon Elizabeth. I'm a child of the late 90s, early 2000s, and I need me some Shannon Elizabeth sometimes. And she's particularly she just is giving it her all in that movie, and I love it. And then I watched some stuff. Like I watched a Charlie Brown, A Great Pumpkin. I watched A Nightmare Before Christmas with the kids because they love all that stuff. And then deep into the evening, I got into what else did I get into that evening? Shit, I'm blanking. I watched like 3 more movies that night, and I can't remember what they are. I'll remember what they are. That was late into the evening. We did a lot of because we had trick or treat on Thursday night on the 30th. Then my other daughter did trick or treat with a friend in a different town on Halloween. Then trick or treat for our neighborhood was actually on November 1st.
Yeah.
Because we had bad weather it ended up being okay on Thursday, but they had moved it to then. So we had 3 days of trick or treat, and then my kids had a Halloween dance on Saturday night, November 1st. So it's almost like we got an extra day Halloween, which is kind of nice.
Extra Halloween.
Extra Halloween. Can't go wrong with extra Halloween. But it was a good one. It was a good one. So, but we're switching directions. We're getting into the holiday season, and like I said, we got some fun stuff going on over on the Patreon all holiday season. Steven, why don't you tell the boils and ghouls at home what's going over on the Patreon currently?
Yeah, as I mentioned, 31 days of Halloween or horror, or however you want to look at it. It's the 31 days of horror. I wrote a new thing every day about a new horror movie. Sometimes it was a video game. Sometimes it was a comic book. There's a whole bunch of shit on there. I gave you a whole bunch of recommendations. And if you need some recommendations to get over your post-Halloween blues, just go on the Patreon and read about it. You learn something new. There's now officially 3 years of that, which is 93 days of horror recommendations that you can read. Mm-hmm. You have a glut of, Halloween recommendations and movies to prepare yourself with. I can't. It's more than a weekend's worth for a year.
I would guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can go. You can take a recommendation for every day in a weekend for the rest of the year, and then it'll get you back to Halloween for the next 31 days of horror.
We will hold your hand with Halloween movies until next Halloween. And if you stay on this track, you never have to stop doing Halloween things throughout the weekend for the rest of your life.
That's the ethos of Halloween is forever. Never stop doing it. Never stop stopping.
Connect the dots. We're here for you. We also got that special little Patreon exclusive podcast over there, Stephen, of which we're counting the episodes. We have 2 episodes left of the current season.
Yes. So we're in the process of getting out episode 8, which is our 90s is Forever series. Episode 8 featuring Chairman of the Board, the carrot top, the carrot top vehicle, the thing that was supposed to push him into the stratosphere.
Yeah, and by vehicle, we mean the carrot top shaped bullet that I am going to eventually put into my brain if I'm ever forced to watch this movie again. It is genuinely, and this is without hyperbole, quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen.
Brian's good.
And we've watched some fucking unreal bad movies. Yeah. This is worse than Fish Piss. This is worse. Dan in the chat asked if I watched Halloween Puppy yet. I have not watched Halloween Puppy this year. But there are so many puppy movies for the balance of the year. This is infinitely worse than Halloween Puppy, aka the Magic Puppy, aka a Great Halloween Puppy Adventure. Chairman of the Board makes me physically ill.
It commits a lot of crime, and a lot of those crimes are the one audacity that a studio of that size would release it. 2 is everybody in that film has to be not as funny as Carrot Top, and Carrot Top isn't funny.
He's so anti-funny.
Yeah. So it's a total waste of funny people. 3, if you look hard enough, you can see his penis.
Oh no, I don't even want to. I mean, I'm not going to go back and watch to see that, but I do want to say I understand that it is kind of like trite to make fun of Carrot Top. It's like really punching down, right? I understand. It's like it's almost like it's not even funny to say Carrot Top's not funny because, like, of course, it's good. But I'm just telling you, this rekindled my white hot hate for Carrot Top.
Yeah.
This movie. I honestly pretty much forgot he existed until we had to watch this movie. And then all those horrible feelings came flooding back for a relatively short runtime, but felt 4 to 5 times as long.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's a lot of things you go back to the 80s and 90s and we do that obviously a lot on this show. And you go back to those movies of the time and you kind of relitigate them and go, that's not such a great thing. That's not great that we like, let that slide or whatever. There's some of that in one of the movies tonight.
Yeah.
But when we hated Carrot Top in the 90s, we were absolutely right. Because then you go back to Carrot Top in 2025 and you still hate him. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, we were right. This guy should have never been famous. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you watch like an Andrew Dice Clay or something now and you're like, oh, Jesus. It's like, but it's like of the time and whatever. And you could, okay, whatever. It's like the low brow, whatever. But then you watch Carrot Top and you were like, no, he is as bad now as he was then. And 50 years from now, 100, dare I say thousands of years into the future, when our progeny barely remembers the nature of our existence or our day-to-day lives, they're going to come across this movie and they're going to be like, oh my fucking God, this guy's not funny. In the same way we did, because it's something that resonates, like it vibrates deep within, like the little speck of something that inside you makes you human.
Yeah.
Like it vibrates that in such a visceral tone that you're just like, you revolt when you see it.
I'm imagining a Logan's Run scenario where you turn 30, you turn 33 and you're sent to a movie theater and you have to watch Chairman of the Board and you fucking shoot yourself in the theater.
Yeah. It's just like, all it is it's a one screen theater with just like, the floor is like that of a locker room shower, so they can just run the water and get the blood out. Yeah. And then it's just a basket of loaded guns and unloaded guns.
Like,
you walk in,
like the 3D glasses deposit.
Exactly. It's the 3D glasses deposit, except for it's just guns.
Yeah.
And you just walk in, you go, well, I'm good. I don't think I need a gun. Why would I need a gun in here? And then you sit down, and halfway through the movie, without failure, you're going to stand up, walk to the back of the theater, blow your fucking brains out. They're going to burn your body. And yeah, it's a Logan's Run situation, but with suicide. Anyway, if you'd like to hear us talk about it, I would strongly urge you do not watch it or any of the other movies in our 90s is Forever series, or the 10 episodes we had with the right-wing Christian propaganda horror movies Youth Group is Forever, or when Steve made me watch all the Fast and the Furious movies with Family is Forever. Steal those movies, or even better, don't watch them. But go over to patreon.com. Give us just 5 little measly buckaroos a month. You get all that. Plus, you can join us here in the in the Discord as we record live, a bunch of other fun stuff. And if you're not ready to do that, but you want to go follow us on the social medias, go do that at All the Halloween is Forever on the social medias. And I'll remind you one more time. Go rate and review us if you haven't already. If you're a longtime listener and you haven't done it, take 5 seconds to go do it. We'll get more eyes on the podcast. We appreciate that. All right, all the bings and the bangs and the boops and the all that stuff out of the way. Steven, are you ready to get into these Mall Madness movies?
Yes, I am ready for Mall Madness.
How are we gonna do these? How are we gonna do this order? Because last month, the Wheeloween was won by the appropriately named Big Ween Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not here to select the order, but should we default the episode before that? Or should we just have the Patreon movie go first as a result of that? What do you think?
I think maybe we can go Patreon movie first. Okay. I think it's the least known of the 3 films, so maybe people want to hear about it first. I think everybody kind of knows Chopping Mall, so we could, we could probably go Hide and Go Shriek, Night of the Comet, and then Chopping Mall.
All right, I think that works. All right, so let's jump into the Patreon movie now, Steve. Explain to them how this Patreon pick works and who suggested this one from the collective Patreon community.
Yeah. So what happens is when we decide it's time for the patrons to submit a movie, I'll just put up a post on our Patreon, and then every patron gets to put in a pick, and then those picks goes on a wheel, and then I spin the wheel, and then whoever comes up gets to represent the patrons in the showdown. This one comes to us by way of Dan.
Oh, it's old Danny's pick again. And Dan's picked before in the past. This is not Dan's first rodeo.
No, not Dan's first rodeo. I don't know if he's won in the past, but yeah, he's definitely got his pick in the past.
Yeah. So we can direct all of our ridicule and our barbs and our jabs and our bag full attacks to scatter onto the mat direct towards Dan here in the Discord chat. So Dan's pick, Hide and Go Shriek, from the year of our Lord 1988, directed by the great Skip Skulnick. No one fucking knows who Skip Skulnick is. He has only ever directed one film. It is a movie called Hide and Go Shriek, and he's an editor. He is a editor of some note for sure.
Yeah,
I would say certainly his most acclaimed film that he directed is Halloween 2.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's the big one. But some other movies you might have seen: Mega Force from 1982, which I know is a I don't know if a cult classic might be a strong one, but it's known by cult movie fans. And a movie that I did not see. Stephen, are you familiar with 1989's Amityville: The Evil Escapes?
I am not familiar with that one, as it is listed as a TV movie, so no, I don't even know where you could find that.
Okay, fair enough. I have not seen it, don't know anything about it. Apparently it's on the Plex, so you can go check it out over there, but I have no familiarity with it. And then the 1991 Night of the Hunter remake. I don't know of that one, and there's no way it's worth watching in comparison to the original. So,
so it probably his most known credit, or at least his most known property outside of Halloween 2, is he was a producer for both Angel, the TV series.
Oh, okay.
And for Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. And
what is that? I don't know what Beyond Belief. That sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is.
That's the one with Jonathan Frakes, who just like presents a story and then is like,
yeah,
haha, no, we made it up. That one was a lie. We got you. Suck our butts. You fell for it, idiot.
I do remember. Okay, yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I did have to Google that man's name, and then I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, Angel by far. Then I mean Halloween 2, yeah, but then Angel obviously has a huge following amongst Buffy fans, and probably there's just people who are straight Angel fans and don't care about Buffy. That'd be weird, but that's probably a reality.
So yeah, he also directed a couple episodes of both of those properties and edited a bunch of episodes of both of those properties. So
gotcha.
He's probably far more known for TV, obviously, than he is for Hide and Go Shriek from 1988.
You know what though? I have seen this movie before. I will admit this is the first time I paid close attention to this movie, and I'll throw this out there right off the top. I had fun with this. Movie. It's got a cast of first of all, way too many. Which listen, I won't throw stones in this here glass house because I got a couple too many teens in my movie too. But there is about 150 teens. Some of which don't need to be there in Hide and Go Shriek, but it is a fun cast, mostly of unknowns, with the exception of two. We have Donna Baltron, who did show up in 8 other films. So she was in a movie called Shallow Grave from 1987. She was in Intent to Kill from 1992. She was in Bikini Squad from 1993. So you get the vibe of the type of movies that she showed up in. There's probably some TV and things out there if you were to delve down that hole. And then Annette Sinclair, who had a relatively short-lived acting career, but she's probably most known as a brief wife of the great Bob Seger of Bob Seger and Silver Bullet Band. So yeah.
This film just really scrapes the bottom when on the IMDb page, at least 3, possibly 4, I can't really tell where this still's from, but at least 3 of the actors use stills from this movie as their IMDb like profile picture.
That's never a good sign. Never a good sign. We probably the person that's most active now. I mean, some of the people have passed away. Rhea Pavia, which doesn't sound like a real name, but it is. She acted in 12 films. She's also, I believe, like a producer. She has a lot of credits. She's also an acting coach. She's done casting. She directed, and she still appears to be very active in the industry in a variety of things. So she absolutely found, a long-term career here. But she also started her career out in this movie. She was also, I think, a relatively small role in Candyman. She was in Freeway, which is a criminally underseen movie, and Reese Witherspoon's feature debut, as well as a great performance by Kiefer Sutherland. That movie's fantastic. So she has, I would say, she is the I think a couple of the people in here tragically did not live very long lives, but it looks like Rhea perhaps has one of the longer careers in the movie. And then we have Sean Kanan, who plays John, which is just, again, one of the high school boys in here. He has a pretty celebrated portfolio of films. Steven, he was in a little film you might remember from the year of our Lord 2019 called Veronica.
Yep.
Directed by one Mr. Glenn Danzig. So, yes, we have a person in this film who was a veteran of a Glenn Danzig film. So that, if that's not full circle, I don't know what the fuck is.
Not only is he in Veronica, he's one of the most memorable members of that cast. Who isn't a porn star. When you get away from the porn stars, then you go down to his character and then X-Pac, who makes a brief cameo. But his character is Sergeant Anders, who is the detective investigating the face cutting killer. And he fucking rules, because all he does is chew scenery, like far more than he does in this film.
And these kids in this movie, they are like, I was trying to come up with a funny name for them. I failed miserably, but they are like the Brat Pack of chewing scenery. These fucking kids in this movie love to just act their balls off. And they're always doing like just doing so much physically with every single line. It's a treat. It's a real treat. There was one other person, and she was in Kindred. She was in Grotesque. She has some notable genre films. She was also in a movie called Frankenstein General Hospital, which immediately went on my
to watch list.
My to watch list, and then I went and noticed that I have already watched it, but Sick. I do not remember it. But I gave it 1 star. So.
Sick.
I do not remember watching Frankenstein General Hospital, but her name is Bunky Jones, and I just really appreciated the name Bunky Jones.
Yeah. She went to Hollywood with the name Bunky Jones.
I actually would be curious to learn if that was her real
Christian
name,
or her Christian given name, her confirmation name of Bunky Jones. Saint
or
Bunky.
If she picked that movie, but I really like to think that her parents named her Bunky Jones. All right, this movie is just like I said.
I just wanted to call.
Go ahead.
Just to call out one more person. So in this film, we have kind of a red herring killer, and his name's Fred, and he's kind of the local.
Well, that was Frank.
No, it's
Fred.
Fred
here, but I thought it was Frank. Okay.
No, it's Fred. He's just kind of he's a red herring tough guy, dumb who's working at this furniture store. But Fred is played by Jeff Levin, and Jeff Levin has a crazy career because
he does.
As an actor, he didn't do a whole lot. He you will recognize him though as the coroner and the paramedic in Nightmare on Elm Street and Nightmare on Elm Street 4. He just pops up there and you'll recognize him. But his career really starts as he was the assistant to Nicolas Cage on a bunch of films. And then he went from assistant to owning a production company with Nicolas Cage and became a producer with Nicolas Cage, and then has now just gone on to produce films on his own. So he's one of those Hollywood dream stories of like, he started as just like Nick Cage's friend and, you know, assistant. And he was so good at his job as being an assistant that, you know, he got on Bringing Out the Dead or whatever, and could just tell, you know, people like, yeah, this is the way Mr. Cage likes things, and we're just going to do things this way, I guess. I don't know. And then just becomes a producer.
He might have actually helped found Nicolas Cage's production company with him.
Yeah. I said that. Yeah, they filmed.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
they formed Saturn Pictures together.
Saturn Pictures. Yeah. It's weird. I right off the bat, I did a double take when I saw him on here, because for a quick moment, I thought it was Scott McDonald of Jack Frost fame, and of course. Jack Frost 2: The Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. I thought it was him for a second, who plays the titular Jack Frost, you know, killer who you know gets turned into a dang snowman.
Sure.
I thought it was him for a second. He just has a very similar look. They look like they could be cousins or something.
Yeah, they both have like the sunken eyes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hide and Go Shriek. So this movie takes place, and Dan, I'm gonna call you out right off the bat. Takes place in a furniture store that seemingly has nothing to do with the mall. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. Now, I'm not gonna linger on this. I'm gonna argue with Steve that his also, perhaps there was a mention of a mall that I missed. Does not take place in a mall, but this one definitively is not even attached to a mall as far as I'm concerned, but it is a large retail outlet. Yeah, mall vibes. Yeah. I get you. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't lean in on it, guys.
Sure. I let it go, and I could have stopped Dan earlier in the process, but I let it go because when I was doing research looking for other films, you know, this one came up repeatedly on lists of, you know, malls and shopping. Yep. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just let it go. I almost got a little silly with it, looking for something similar. So, you know, I was just like, all right, I'll let this one go. But I feel like it's not gonna, I don't know. It's probably not gonna win because after watching it, I wish I could see what the hell was going on.
Well, it's very dark, right? And it's actually interesting because, and I'll call it like, this is the newest movie in this three. We have 84, 86, and 88. So all these movies happen, you know, have the potential to have been shot right around the same time, right? But Hide and Go Shriek, I will say, looks to be about 15 years older than the other two movies. And they're all on small budgets, but yeah, you definitely see it the most with Hide and Go Shriek. That said, it is a fun little romp with a bunch of wacky teens, and the overacting of these teens make Mary Warnoff and the other guy at the beginning of
Paul Bartel
at the beginning of Chopping Mall look subtle, right?
Yeah,
in
right.
comparison, these teens are really after it. Now, when I say teens, of course, and this is the case with all of our movies and any low budget 80s movie for the most part, with the exception of Kelly Maroney, I think every single person in these movies look to be a minimum of 25 and maximum of about 38. So, and they're playing teens. That's typical. It's interesting enough, the Hide and Go Shriek cast, the one guy looks younger. The kid who looks like a kind of like a Cabbage Patch doll. You know what I'm talking about? I forget what the name of the character is with the glasses. He is actually the oldest, I believe, of the cast members. But he was like, when this was shot, he was like 28. But he looked, some of the people on there, you literally just can't even find their birth date because they didn't really have an acting career. But he looks to appear to be the oldest one. In any case, when I say teens, I mean, people in their mid-20s, and they're hanging out in a big giant furniture warehouse that's owned by the father of one of the characters. That is the setting for this movie. You get right off the bat, before any of this happens, you get something that feels like it's going to have a lot to do with the rest of this movie, and it doesn't. We get this guy putting on makeup and getting all dressed up to like sinister music. He's dressed as like, imagine like a noir detective, really is what he looks like, or perhaps a giallo killer. And I'll say this too, right off the bat, I would go as far as to call this movie an American giallo film. I think I wouldn't say it with any type of tongue in cheek either. I really think this would qualify.
It's not far off. I would say it's not far off because they have a red herring killer. There is like a weird psychosexual angle to it. This opening is very giallo. My first note is actually, what if Fade to Black wasn't a movie pussy? Like, what if he wasn't just a movie pussy who got scared about killing women and instead is just like hunting down prostitutes on his spare time?
Well, and he even has, I mean, it's not a black gloved killer, but it is a trench coat killer, right?
Yeah, trench coat, black hat, hidden identity.
There's the whodunit element, right? But you have this guy, he's putting on makeup, he's got the outfit on, you're like, okay, the outfit, sure, whatever. You're going to murder a prostitute. Spoiler alert, he murders a prostitute. He's dressing up as he's in classic going to murder a prostitute garb, but then he puts makeup on and you don't see him put it on, you just see him picking it up and all that stuff. So you're like, okay, this doesn't add up exactly, but it doesn't matter because we don't really learn anything about why he was doing that. I mean, we kind of do, but kind of not, and we'll get to it. We see these two guys. I will say right off the bat, there's Kim, there's Judy, there's Bonnie, there's Melissa, there's like so many names, and I am not going to refer to them by their names because one, doesn't deserve it. Two, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna explain to you who they are. You have two of these what I refer to in my notes as skinny little cucks lifting baby weights. Just because they were lifting hilariously small amounts of weight, like doing curls with like the amount you would expect like a soccer mom to use in her Pilates class.
Right. Just to keep it toned.
Yeah. But they're lifting weights and acting tough and stuff. We get introduced to them. Then we get introduced to all the girls. We've got Kim and Judy, and I believe Bonnie. We've got Melissa. They're doing a lot of girl talk, talking about, hey, I'm going to, lose my V card tonight to my boyfriend. And the other girl's like, hey, I already got some lingerie. You should get some lingerie. Here, you can use my lingerie. Just doing gal talk type of stuff. We get introduced to David. So David's one character. David is trying to fuck. All right. And Kim has lingerie, like ready to rock. So the characters have varying degrees of horniness, but they're all kind of weirdly puritanical when it comes to sex, like when it comes right down to it. I just wrote at this point, I was like, there's too many fucking white people to keep track of in this movie. Like, I can't do it. We have four couples, and they're just being wacky teens, saying wacky stuff, playing grab ass, all that stuff. They're all have just graduated or about to graduate from high school. So they're talking about their futures and all that. Randy is the one with a sick ass haircut. He just shows up. He's got like wild ass, like I don't, almost a Dolph Lundgren kind of look to his hair. It's
pulled high and slicked back with just like a terrible amount of hairspray, I can assume.
Yeah, and they're all talking about, because he just got this haircut today, and this is a big talking point amongst the friend group here. The other kid, I think it might be David. Again, who cares? His dad is the one who owns the furniture store.
It's John. John. I see.
John owns the furniture store.
Most of my notes are keeping track of who the fuck is who, and so it's John, and his dad owns the furniture store, and he comes fast and bunky. And
Yeah.
and then Randy wears sunglasses in the dark and fucks Kim. Sean
I know Randy. Randy's the hair guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Sean and Melissa die virgins, and then Dave and Judy are also there.
So, I've already wait. Dave and Judy are the ones that are going to get married, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And anytime I couldn't remember who was who, and it was just and they're also there. It was like, it must be Dave or Judy.
It must be Dave or Judy. Yeah, Judy, I will say, actually, maybe my favorite character in the whole movie. She is the one who is chewing the scenery harder than anyone. It's like her and Randy are the two that are just like really going at it. Not fucking. They're dating other people, but they are going at it in terms of just acting their balls off. We do get introduced to Fred. Sorry, for some reason it says Fred in my notes, but in my mind it was Frank. Fred is this ex-con who's been hired at the loading dock. He's given some tough vibes. He's essentially Snake from The Simpsons.
Yep.
I mean, he's got the tattoo, he's got the whole thing, and John's dad, who owns the furniture store, is like, hey, he's an ex-con. There's another guy there that works for them that's like, why do you hire this ex-con? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, listen, he did his time. I'm giving him a second chance. He's a good guy, whatever. But now we're all very scared of Fred because he's given some gnarly vibes. They show up before the place closes and essentially just stay, right? And they're just like, we're going to party here all night. And nobody questions it because his dad owns the place. So, yeah, we talked about the dad's manager being a dick around Frank. And you feel kind of bad for Frank right off the bat because like the manager is just like saying rude shit about him easily within earshot.
Right.
And Frank, like I've already switched in my notes from Fred to Frank. I don't know why, but
I hear
it. Fred is just like, he just got out of the pen. He wants to lift heavy things. He wants to eat his onions, have a couple jugs of wine.
Yep.
Like he just wants to exist. Don't be a dick, right? But he lives in the warehouse, and I don't know if he's allowing him to live there or he thinks, where he's kind of squatting there. But he lives way in the back of the warehouse. He's got like his little plug-in hot plate. He's just got like some real shitty looking steaks and like just a bunch of green onions that he cooks like Zelda cooks in Breath of the Wild. You just like throw two things into a wok and it just turns into something else.
Oh, dude, you're gonna unleash him. You just said the way Zelda cooks. It's Link.
Oh no, Link. I mean, Link in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Gonna unleash the fucking video game dorks. Link. You just pick two things from the menu. They fly into the pot and then they go. That little tune plays and then it goes pow pow. You have a thing.
Yep.
That's how Fred cooks. So Randy and Kim. Randy is the one with the hair. Kim is Bob Seger's wife, and he was actually married to her right around this time. I looked it up. They were married for like 1 year. It was like 87 to 88 or something like that. So this quite possibly could have been Bob Seger's wife at this very moment. Randy is just
could have been also why they divorced.
It could be because Randy throated her chin.
Yeah. He just watched the movie. He's like, ew, is that what you think acting is? I can't be around you.
The way there's so much kissing, wet kissing in this movie and so little sex. But Randy just deep throats Kim's chin at one point. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And all 8 of these kids are just absolute fucking dorks. Except for, I would say Randy. Except for Randy, he's not necessarily a dork, but he's maybe brain damaged or something. Like he has fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah. He's just annoying.
He's just chaotic. He's just chaotically insane. So Kim gets the bright idea that we're going to play hide and go seek. Again, you're here to get drunk and fuck. And she's like, let's play hide and go seek. And they're like, yeah, okay. Again, they're fucking dorks. So the one couple has talked about how they're going to get married, and that's Judy and what the fuck ever. And they're talking about getting married. So that's a big point of conversation, but they they all split up and go to areas to quote unquote hide. And they just find beds to just like take their shirts off and lay down in. And they have champagne on ice already waiting for them at the one bed, which I thought was like, it requires a lot of pre-planning, but we finally get some boobs, by the way. It's like 25 plus minutes into this movie. Judy, by the way, is the one whose boobs we see. And I will say, fantastic. Really, really tremendous. It was worth the wait. Meanwhile, that guy, assumedly, who killed the hooker is like hanging around. So we keep seeing him like peeking around, but we never see his face. It's just like a silhouette or a shadow or something. Again, everyone just keeps cock blocking each other with this whole tag nonsense.
Which is how you know they're dorks, because Kim was like, let's all go play hide and go seek. And that's like supposed to be code of basically, oh yeah, we're going to go do 7 minutes in heaven all around this department store. And, Melissa and Sean wind up in a closed space with each other. And, Bunky and John, they just go bang because that's what they're supposed to do. And then Kim ruins it by like finding them and go, haha, it's your turn now. It's like, ew, no, stupid. We're not actually playing.
She jumps on them while they're like under the blankets. Kim's a wild character. Again, Bob Seger's wife. I assume she's like trying to not have sex because she got HPV from Bob Seger, so she's trying not to spread it. But Frank's off in the side, being a red herring, and he's got one of those forearm workout things where he just like squeezes it to get strong forearms. It's just a fun thing no one uses those enough anymore. I just wrote in my notes, he's got one of those forearm workout things because he's gonna jack every one of these teens off. Yeah, so much kissing, so little genitalia throughout this movie. Just wet, smooching noises. Just as a nerd couple is like about to screw, someone turns the lights off and attacks the female nerd, and just plunges the sink with her face. Which is a weird way to kill somebody. But did not expect the nerds to die so early. I didn't remember that. I thought the nerds were gonna last a little bit longer, They died just virgins. As they were about to bone. Yeah, and they died virgins, as you said. We get another line from, this is the one, I think it's John. Yeah, John. No, it's not John. It's one of the one in the red shirt who's dating the one that's got like the really frumpy outfit on, but then we learn she's a professional exotic dancer at one point, and like she keeps talking about like, oh, this is going to be the night she's going to lose. They're gonna both. I don't know if he's a virgin, but she is, and it's a lot of talk about this. And they're also horny, but they're also like puritanical. He keeps saying like really lame shit. Like she keeps going like, sorry, I'm so nervous. And he just goes, I'm planning for a very long and very sexy future. And if anybody's aroused by that sentence, you need to get an MRI on your fucking brain.
It's like one of those things that you think that's what women want to hear. Like, I'm so ready to be committed. And I'm gonna be committed to that pussy. And it's like dry tongue.
Oh, it's so dry right now. And then the boy nerd who I up until this point I didn't mention, I had been referring to in my notes as Teddy Ruxpin. So I just call him Teddy because he just looks like a human version of Teddy Ruxpin. Yeah, he gets one of the most innovative moves I've seen, and like. It's a wrestling move, right? So you're like, who is this person with superhuman strength? Because he essentially picks him up like he's going to choke slam him, but then inverts him into a press slam and then press slams him onto a bunch of spikes. I don't know why these spikes are there. It's some sort of piece of machinery, but he choke/press slams him onto a bunch of spikes.
It was just a piece of modern art.
Yeah, is that what it is? It's a piece of modern art.
Yeah, it's just like some of that bullshit modern art you would see in the Dietz's house in Beetlejuice. Of just like,
yeah, sure.
It's strangely spiky and dangerous. Of like, I don't know, we have like mid-century brutalism for whatever reason. Do you want it in your house? Yeah. No, I guess it'll just stay in the furniture factory forever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. John, the dad who works there, dad who owns the place, and Judy, John and Judy, I think it is, real uncomfortable, conversation about how John sucks at fucking, basically. And then at one point, Randy comes in and is like, you suck at fucking. and I think Judy says the phrase "buzz off, buzz head," and I think that might be the single worst insult I've ever fucking heard. That's unbelievably, like, this is just like I said, just the most childish, stupid shit. They're also weirdly obsessed with eating together.
Yeah,
like they're talking about how they're hungry, and they're like, we're all going to eat together at midnight, and then like they can't, or whatever time. And they're like, oh, we got to get everybody together. And then they're like, well, let's just go eat. We're like, no, we all agree to eat together. And there's just like this big weird thing about eating together.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's like they're going to sit down and have a meal in the furniture store.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. But like it only functions as a way for them to discover that Sean and Melissa they're disappeared at this point.
Right.
We know they're dead. But it's only for them to discover that. And it's like, why? Again, who cares? Like, you're doing, like, we have to have family dinner at midnight.
Well, it's like, and then I'm like, okay, what do you bring? What type of food do you bring in? Did they bring like some subs, maybe a couple pizzas? No, they have like fried chicken. It's like they have like roasted chicken. Like, why are you guys eating like chicken in the fucking furniture store? I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it.
Everybody's fingers is all greasy as fuck.
Yeah, don't bring chicken to the fucking furniture store.
To the furniture store fuck party.
Yeah,
these
such
kids,
a strange thing to bring.
These kids were absolutely setting up for like their future as suburban swingers. Like,
oh yeah.
If they were allowed to live, at some point, they all would have lived on the same cul-de-sac and had key parties together and just, just swapped off and ate chicken and greased up each other with fucking
greased up
picnic chicken.
Yeah, this is the occasion you would expect, like, the food is going to consist of, like, a bag of Bugles and a bag of Doritos. You know what I mean? But instead, they have a whole chicken. What do they have? What was the George Romero, the amusement park? What they have, like a chicken basket or something?
Yeah, they had a basket of chicken. And I called it picnic chicken because it looks like Giant Eagle picnic chicken.
Picnic chicken. That's right. They decide that's a callback for you real OG fans listeners going back 5 years talking about picnic chicken. Yeah, these guys, listen, I'm going to stop dwelling on this. They party like absolute fucking pussies, and I hate it.
Fucking losers. Like, yeah, they fuck, but it is just we're even told they don't fuck good. Not all of them.
No.
One
says
two of them don't fuck.
One says, yeah, right. They die.
Yeah, they don't fuck. And then fucking Bunky calls out the fact that John only lasted 10 seconds. So that's that's less than a stroke. That's an in and a I'm sorry.
Yeah, start panicking.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, I think it might be John says, "I can't wait to make love to you," to his girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, good God, dude. Anyway, the owner's son. That's the one in bed. They're talking about. It's the owner's son and the girlfriend, which I think is John and Judy, right? And they think it's Sean in there. They're like, "Oh, I see Sean," and they're like, "Sean, get out of here, you fucking asshole!" Like, and then he turns around and moons them.
Yeah.
Which is such an out of left field thing. And for some reason, they're so horrified and disgusted by being mooned. Judy goes, "Oh God, you're sick." And John's like, "I'm going to kick your fucking ass." Like, it's like they slapped their grandmothers in the face by mooning them.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, just the weird puritanical tendency of like being mooned is the most offensive thing that can happen.
Having to see a man's butthole.
I just think it's so funny. So yeah, there's a chase, there's a fight. Eventually I think he's impaled with a mannequin arm, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I keep saying John and Judy. That was John and whatever his girlfriend's name is.
That was John and Bunky. And
John and Bunky.
Yeah.
Judy, David and Judy are the other couple.
Right.
Again, this is why I didn't keep track of the names. Judy, like is into the whole her first time thing. And so much so that she hires a band to start playing when she starts stripping her clothes off. But we get all this backing music. It's like, wow, wow, wow. She takes off her clothes. She's wearing this like insane, like not even negligee, like lingerie. And she brings white, like stiletto heels. And I'm just like, this is not Judy's first time doing that.
No.
Judy is a veteran exotic dancer. But the killer's starting to dress up in wigs now and wearing like the kids' clothes and stuff as he kills them. Oh yeah, he says something about the snake tattoo. And there's actually a line here, and I want to see if you picked up on it. It's Randy, and he's talking to I think it's Judy, the one that's going to marry the son, whatever. It doesn't matter. And he's like, "There's someone else in here and he has a snake tattoo." And then he says something, and I actually recorded it because I was like, it is 100% impossible to decipher what the fuck he says.
"Randy, there's someone else in here."
Who? I don't know. He has the snake tattoo.
What the hell is he doing in here?
I rewound it 4 times and laughed every time. It got funnier every time. Yeah. She goes, "I saw him. He had a snake tattoo." And he goes, what the fuck is this? I rewound it 4 times going, "What did you just say?" And it just kept getting funnier every time. But there's no way. Like, this needed another take, and they just were like, nope, fucking
move on.
Put in the can.
Yeah, this movie feels a whole hell of a lot like fuck it, move on.
Yeah.
It feels like they were filming illegally at a furniture store because there is no fucking lighting in this movie. Everything is so dark, so impossible to see. They have like maybe one key light in any given scene, and then towards the end they turn on a red light because the kids are in danger. Other than that, it is one of the most impossible to see films I've ever watched. I don't know.
Yeah, when the red light comes on, the idea is that the killer cut the power and the emergency like red exit lights come on, and it gets brighter when the electricity is killed somehow.
Yeah, it somehow gets brighter.
Anyway, now things are moving in, lots going on. They're all gonna like go get together and go back downstairs. They're starting to get all freaked out at this point. Kim, who is Bob Seger's wife, is tied up and nude up on top of the elevator, which is immediately I'm like, oh, she gonna die by elevator. I mean, we know that to be true, but she why is she up there? She's tied up like a damsel would be tied up on a like Snidely Whiplash would tie up a damsel on a train track. Like she's just tied up with like her arms and legs and just laid up there. And I'm like, she has tape over her mouth, but like she could easily kick. She could easily pound on the thing to let them know that she's up there, but she just kind of squirms around up there.
Yeah. It is a cool shot though, because you see because they're going up and down on one of those like freight elevators, and so
Yes.
it's kind of an open plan, a very dangerous elevator, but they're going up and down on this freight elevator trying to chase the killer. And so you see like the kids going down the elevator, and then as it passes past the camera, you see Kim tied up on top of the elevator, and it's like, oh, hey, an actual cool shot in this film where you can make out what the fuck's going on. Great. You got one out of 280 maybe.
You could see it, which was good. So the idea is, for some reason, there's a bunch of mannequins in this furniture store, and they have to explain it as like John's dad. He thinks it makes it feel like lived in or something. I don't know, but there's mannequins everywhere in this furniture store, and the mannequins keep being arranged in creepy ways. So they're getting freaked out. There's also one scene where they look and all the mannequins are piled up in the bed, and it just cuts away. But if you pause, the killer is in there with the mannequins, I believe, which is kind of cool. But anyway, he's dancing. This is kind of funny because the killer puts on Kim's clothes and is dancing around, and they're like, oh, there's Kim. Oh, wait, no, that's not Kim, because it's like cackling and doing all kind of weird shit. And they don't go after her at all because they're just very freaked out about the whole thing. Also, I need to say Kim, again, Bob Seger's wife, is 98 pounds soaking wet. Like, she is tiny human being. And she has like tight Daisy Dukes on that look like children's like shorts. And what the fuck grown man can fit into this 98-pound person's Daisy Dukes? But that's the 15th dumbest thing. So I don't know why I'm focused on it. But we do see the killer's little station. He's got his characters, his little mannequins, and we see this again. So we're like, okay, yes, obviously it's the same person from the beginning of the movie. We all picked up on that. They can't escape the store. The windows are, something that's locked from the inside, and the windows, whatever. And apparently there's no fucking phone in the place, so they give you all the reasons why they can't escape. Then he kills the power, and Bonnie finds the corpse closet where he's keeping all the dead bodies. And it actually is a relatively like disturbing scene because there's just like they find the nude corpses of their friends, and this is the only time their like crazy overacting actually works, because you would react in an over the top way if you found this, right? So it's I would say it does work pretty well in this instance. And then all of a sudden, Fred comes out of nowhere, just going, "Hey, you kids," and just comes running down the fucking hall after them, and gets KO'd. A little fight ensues. He ends up getting KO'd with a slap from a mannequin arm. And then we do see there's a guy at a newsstand across the street who gets there, because now you expect it's probably it's like 5 a.m, 4 a.m. So like the guy at the newsstand's showing up, and he sees them in there, calls the police, says there's a break-in. So now we know the cops are on the way. They have a straight up rumble with Frank, where they beat the shit out of Frank. Frank, of course, at this point, we're supposed to think he's the killer or maybe the killer. They beat the shit out of Frank, tie him up, and then just keep taking pot shots at him while he's down on the ground. Like, just real bastard moves. They literally hog tie him, and then take pot shots while screaming at him that he's a slime bag, like over and over and over again. Frank's just getting it dirty.
Fred.
No, Frank.
Fred.
It's Frank.
No, Frank.
It's Frank.
It's Frank.
They hear the bad guy assaulting Kim somewhere else. Meanwhile, he's just like strangling her and slapping her around on top of the elevator. It's like, like what's I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to get her to make as much noise as possible.
Well,
and
I
then
think
they go into the.
It's that she started to escape. Like,
yes, that's true.
They were going up the elevator, and she got her feet untied, and then she did start doing what you were saying, like she should have done, is just like start kicking the roof, and then she got her hands untied, and like, the killer is also up there with her, and like gets on top of her and just starts wailing on her, just going to town,
just slapping the shit out of her. And they all go back up, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go because they can't tell where the sound's coming from. So they're going to ride the elevator up and then come back down until they find her. I don't know. Anyway, it results in Kim getting her head cut off by the elevator, which we all kind of saw coming, right? She sticks her head down and they're in the elevator. So she comes down around and is like, help me, I'm up here on the elevator, as the elevator's coming up, and lops her head off, which, yeah, the killer put her up there. Kind of Kim's fault. She got her own head off of the elevator.
Yeah. You should better know elevator safety. Like,
yeah.
You know, I also assume like that elevator needed to be inspected because none of the, you know, stop buttons worked. So like also that's faulty, and there's probably a lawsuit on John's dad's hand because of that.
There's a lot of negligence involved.
Yeah,
a lot of negligence involved.
There's a lot of lawsuits that are going to be flying around after this. But yeah, man, like don't put your head there. And then when she puts her head there, then the killer just holds her there. And it's like, okay, well now you're stuck and you're going to lose your head, dum-dum. And then she does.
Yeah. And she does.
And it's actually followed by like a weird timing of like somberness among the group. Like they're somber and quiet after they get off the elevator, and they just kind of leave her head there, and they don't pursue like getting her body down or anything. They just get off the elevator and go back to one of the beds, and they're just like, man, that sucks. This is really bad.
They're kind of in shock. There is a good line by, I think, I don't know, I'm going to call them all Judy at this point. I think it's Judy. And she just goes, I mean, she's laying it on thick, and it's like, I don't understand. She like just lays out this like bellowing wail of a noise. Yeah, all of a sudden a weird this is the last like 10 minutes of this movie are bonkers, right? All of a sudden, this weird bald guy whom we've never seen before, wearing S&M gear, comes flying out, full sprint, with a knife, just flicking his tongue in and out. He's got, it's actually not a knife, it's a straight razor.
Right.
So this is like, imagine this, these kids, right? You think it's Frank. You think you've killed Frank or beaten him up and tied him up at least. Then all of a sudden, actually, I think as an audience, we're probably more surprised than the kids, because the kids technically could be anybody. As a moviegoer, we're seeing somebody for the first time whom we've never seen before in S&M gear, bald. He doesn't even look like anybody we've seen yet, with a straight razor, and he looks like fucking skinny, hairy-chested version of like Gangrel. He's got like white face paint. Like it just is a wild look.
Yeah. Again, what if Fade to Black wasn't a movie pussy?
Yeah. And then he's just charging. Frank pops out, intercepts him. Turns out it's Zach. Who's Zach, you ask? Good fucking question. We don't know Zach, but Frank explains, or we pick up on their conversation, that it's Frank's jaded jailhouse lover.
Yeah. It's they were.
Excuse me?
It is so wild. And it makes a little bit of sense, because we saw that Zach has the same kind of snake tattoo that Frank has on his arm, but he has it on his foot.
Yes.
So you're getting the red herring that Fred would be the killer, because if he has a snake tattoo on his arm, why wouldn't he have one on his foot as well? He likes snakes. Right. He's into it. But no,
snake.
It's a couple's tattoo. And it's like,
it's a couple's tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me remind you, we've never met Zach before.
No.
We never knew Zach existed.
With the exception of that, we can assume Zach is the guy who stabbed the hooker at the beginning of the film.
Yes. Well, we know there is probably another person, because we've seen them, and we're pretty sure that wasn't. I'm gonna say Fred. I'm trying to think of what his wrong name was. We're pretty sure that wasn't Fred, but yeah, we're not 100% sure. But yeah, it is this other stranger who usually in these giallo flicks, it's like, oh, it was the butler, you know, or something like that. Oh, here's who, again, I've watched this movie before, did not pay attention to it. I was trying to remember who it was. I'm like, was it the dad's manager who was talking about how he didn't like Fred being around? Like, I'm trying to figure out who it was. But no, it's just someone we never saw before.
Yeah, it's someone we never saw before, but they have, you know, that they do have that psychosexual connection, kind of the way like the cop in the background of Opera, like
sure,
like he's there, but you never really you never really suspect him that much until it's impossible to not suspect him. But like for the most part, you're like, whatever. He's just a guy there. He's not part of the story. The same way, like Zach isn't really part of the story because we only saw a cold open and don't know who he is. And then, like you said, he just runs out of the shadows looking like a fucking clown maniac. And you go, well, what's this now?
yeah. So anyway, Frank in the tussle takes a freaking Bowie knife to the neck, right? So he's not doing too good. Ultimately, Zach slips on Kim's head blood and falls in an extremely theatrical manner down the elevator shaft. So in the tussle, he eventually, he pops up behind a bed. There's just a whole tussle that happens. And ultimately after getting shoved over towards the elevator shaft, slips on Kim's decapitation blood, falls down the elevator shaft. And it's like, the whole way down, right? The real villains in this movie are the medics because they willfully allow Frank to bleed out while he explains who the killer was. They are literally not paying attention to him at all. Remember, he's innocent. In fact, he only helped to try to prevent the crime. He's laying there, a poorly applied bandage on his neck. He's clearly bleeding, and he's laying on the ground with like something under his head, and the paramedics are just like smoking a cig, not paying attention, while he chokes out his last words explaining who Zach was. And then does like the most abrupt death ever. Yeah. Like as he's like, and then that happened and he's dead. And he's dead. Yeah. So they're taking everyone out. Everyone's wrapped in blankets and, all the things that you see on, on the end of a movie like this. And then we look and they're taking out Zach and they're taking him out on the stretcher. So they've found his body. They've inspected him and judged him to be dead. So one of two things happens whenever the coroners come and take a body away. One, either they're so fucked up that it's impossible for them to be alive. It's like if you saw somebody who was decapitated, they're not going to go up to Kim and check her pulse, right? She ain't got no head. She's headless. She ain't living no more. Or you find someone laying on the ground and you go up and you check their pulse. They're dead.
Yes.
And if they're not dead, you try to save them. But these paramedics, we have noted, they are criminals. You see them carrying Zach's body out under a sheet. You know it's Zach because his foot drops down and you see the tattoo, the snake tattoo. And then as they're carrying everybody out and whatever, cut over to an ambulance. And just kidding, Zach's fine, and he's driving an ambulance. And he looks like he just went and washed his makeup off, and now he's just driving the ambulance. He fell down an elevator shaft, pronounced dead. He's now driving an ambulance.
He still has like his dark cat eye makeup on too.
Yeah.
It looks like he's like just got done with a Kiss concert because he still has
he's
like
all sweaty. Yeah.
It's just like, so he still has like his cat eye makeup on and then just looks directly at the camera and smiles. And it's like, ooh, gay people are still out there. Be afraid. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. So that's listen, and I would be, that would be completely insincere for me to call out we'll call it out, but to criticize the questionable messaging here, because 90% of the movies we talk about, especially 80s slasher movies, have extremely questionable messaging in them.
Oh yeah.
But the overarching theme here is that gay people are scary and murderers.
Right.
Or maybe it's I don't know. I don't know anything about the intentions of the director or the writer or anything like that. But it's not, I will say, they do it a lot better than I have seen when it's other, like, 80s, 70s. It was always like, oh, but actually he was a cross-dresser and that's why he killed everyone, because being queer is a mental illness. We would just see this all the time. In this instance, at least they don't come straight out and say it.
Right.
Like in other movies.
Yeah.
Like they do actually treat it with like kind of a deft hand, and they do like make it like Frank a tragic figure. Although Frank does kind of say like, well, I was only gay when I was in the jail, so it's still very questionable, but it's there's a lot to unpack, but it's not as egregious as some I've seen. It's
like, films earlier than this just basically say like they're killers because they're trans or gay or whatever. And then this one is like, well, he's a cross-dressing gay killer, and then like 2 years later we get to Silence of the Lambs, and they're saying like, yeah, no, Buffalo Bill isn't what he thinks he is. He's just like adopting an identity because he doesn't know his real identity as a killer. So he's not, he's not this trans gay killer. He just adopted that as an identity because he thinks he wants to be a woman or whatever. So it's like, it's slow progression as well.
Yeah. And by, at first I thought, and then about 5 minutes later, I was completely shifted positions on this. And I was like, no, Zach's a gay icon and we should be celebrating him. And then I was like, listen, it's not for a straight cis man to make that call. It's not my call to make, but may I suggest to you, Zach, a new gay icon. And he's probably not even new. I guarantee there's people who've celebrated this character, dressed up like him for Halloween, and I personally also think that's awesome, and I kind of like the idea of, because he comes out wearing the wildest shit. He looks like he's going to a fucking rave. You know what I mean? He looks like he's going to a BDSM fucking party where they're gonna do a jamali and slap each other in the ass with cat o' nine tails. You know what I mean?
Well, you know who he actually looks like? He looks like the lead singer of the Prodigy.
I was holy shit. I read your mind when you said, who he actually looks like, and I was like, Prodigy. He looks like the guy from Prodigy.
Yeah.
And you took the words out of my mouth. For some reason, when you say who he looks like, that is 100% the first person that came to my mind.
Yeah.
That was a mind meld there. He does, because the balding, and also he has the little the
hair spikes on the side.
Spikes. Yeah. Like the almost look like fins on the side of his head.
He's a good shark.
Yeah.
But I was Zach. Also willing to posit that Zach is probably the best lay in the whole film, because
for sure,
because one, he turned Fred gay in jail, so it was good. It was good enough for that. Two, none of the stray kids know how to fuck and or don't fuck and or fuck bad.
Yeah,
and so
for sure,
and he starts the film by fucking, and the prostitute kind of seems like she's into it until she gets stabbed. So,
yeah. Up to the point. Listen, up to the point. She seemed like it was all right. Yeah. Anyway, Zach could teach these noobs a couple things about fucking. That is for sure. Okay. That was Hide and Go Shriek. We talked way longer about that than I expected to, but it was a fun movie. Was it good? Question mark. No, probably not, in my opinion. But are any of these movies we're talking about tonight, strictly speaking, good?
No,
I don't know.
no.
We'll probably not.
I don't think they're good. I think Hide and Go Shriek is
They're fun.
Yeah,
they're all fun.
They're all fun, and I think Hide and Go Shriek is kind of special because it is the other two films aren't necessarily played serious. I think we're kind of on a gradient of what's played for seriousness. Like my film isn't totally played seriously, and then your film absolutely isn't. But this film is played most serious, but that's kind of what makes it funnier because of the absolute insane line deliveries. The one I have in my notes is after like somebody comes in, the killer, after the killer comes and steals Zach's clothes to dress up as Zach to lure somebody else away. Zach goes to chase, and he just screams out loud to nobody in particular, "Who took my clothes?" Just in the most insane line delivery ever. He's like, "Who took them?"
Yeah, he does. They're doing a lot of like projecting to the back of the auditorium in every single line that they deliver. Yeah, I will say there is a very clear reason, even with bad, probably amateur actors. The direction was not there. They were just saying that, like, his direction in that was probably they did a take and then he goes, let's do that again. Do it louder. Yeah. Like super loud. And that's what he got.
You ever see the Whitest Kids sketch of louder and wider with your mouth open? Your mouth open wider and louder.
Wider.
That's this movie, and
that's the directing style.
It's you understand why this is the only movie this guy directed. It's just because there are so many things wrong with it, but it has interesting things about it. Like a more competent and deft hand could have made a really good film. But no, we get this.
Continued in part 2.